The only requirement is it's supposed to be tied to a curriculum. There's Facebook groups where folks give each other curriculum or just AI generate curriculum. They're like, I want to buy a new refrigerator, and AI will spit out, here's a science curriculum that could justify your purchase.
Hello, everybody. I'm Nicole Brown, and welcome back to Around the District. Again, we're here with Racheal Clawson with Save Our Schools. Just a couple of more questions. I'm really baffled by the $7,000 per student that if a family of 5 has, 3 kids, is that 24,000? What's 7 times 3? Is
that would be 21,000.
21,000. Can't do math.
I wasn't a math
I was like,
teacher.
I can't do math. So I'm good with you correcting me. But
Yeah.
$21,000 that they can apply for and get and kind of just spend any way they want to,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
What is the perspective that you're aware of from the superintendent's? What is his role in all of this, or what is he doing to either help or hinder the situation?
Yeah, so the Arizona Department of Education and Superintendent Horn are really tasked with overseeing the ESA voucher program. However, he came into office really at the beginning of universal vouchers, and the department was very ill-equipped to deal with the influx, and they still are. In fact, they've issued several different occasions in which they've just said they're essentially giving the auto stamp of approval on any purchases under $2,000, because they just don't have time to review. And it's, they are also tasked with the state board of education, at which Superintendent Horn is on as well, in addition to other members of the community and education community. They are tasked with putting together a handbook, guidelines for what the voucher program is supposed to be. But again, that's just guidelines, and there's a lot that's not necessarily in statute. So
nothing, no accountability, really.
Right. Well, no academic accountability.
Okay.
We have no idea if, kids are actually learning on these vouchers or what they're learning. Financial accountability is extremely, extremely limited. We've been seeing the sort of just luxury purchases that continue to come out, not only on vacations, but, home appliances,
Legos.
Yeah, $2,000 Legos, and it just goes on and on and on.
But what's the process? So if I'm a parent and I want to apply for a voucher for my kid, what's the process? What do you have to do to get one?
There's essentially just an online application. In order to make the purchases that you want to be able to make, the only requirement is it's supposed to be tied to a curriculum. But we've also seen that there's Facebook groups where folks, give each other curriculum or just AI generate curriculum. Say, literally,
gotta love ChatGPT,
right? They're like, I want to buy a new refrigerator, and AI will spit out, here's a science curriculum that could justify your purchase of a refrigerator.
Do they provide receipts or no?
So it's some of the nitty gritty I'm not as well versed on, but they can make direct purchases. They also submit for reimbursement, and so that's when, and they do it through a who they contract out with. So it's actually not the state that deals with all that sort of financial side of
vendor,
things.
Yes, vendor,
an outside vendor called Class Wallet that deals with a lot of that. But again, there's not really a lot of oversight of Class Wallet. And so, folks, as we're finding out, I believe it was last year, in which there were folks who created fake identities. So, the news called them ghost children. So folks were getting money for kids who never even existed. Yeah.
That would be like me applying for, my 2 imaginable children that I never had, right? And I get money for it. It's just odd.
Yes.
Getting back to the superintendent, I did see where he was advertising
Yeah.
for the vouchers,
Yeah.
and it was like $600,000 or something along
Mhm.
those lines of taxpayer money that he used to advertise for it.
Right.
What Why would he need to advertise for it? Like, do you know anything about that, or
Well,
what can you speak about?
and that was definitely, I believe, written into the budget that year, and some state legislators even like requested that they wanted money to go to advertising the ESA voucher program. And it's, I think, a really great question voters should be asking. Why is it that we are funding for a program if it's really all it's cracked up to be? So instead, we're using state tax dollars on marketing a program rather than educating kids.
Okay. Well, I had some big concerns when I was looking at that. And I
Yeah.
think your website, the Save Our Schools website, really does a great job of spelling out, or there's a newsletter that you guys do,
Hmm.
which keeps up to date issues around the state of Arizona, which
Yeah.
I found to be very informative.
Yeah.
Education is, that's my heart too.
Hmm.
And so I didn't know anything about it until I went to that website, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
doing this?
Yes.
So I can walk in and say,
Hmm.
oh, I can't because I don't have any children and I'm not a liar.
Hmm.
So I would not lie about that. But
Hmm.
like you have 3 kids of your
Hmm.
own, right? And
Yeah.
have you personally applied for any of these vouchers?
No, I haven't, but I'm not
Why
gonna.
not?
Well, it's because
Is that personal?
right, as a former, as a former public school educator, and a native to Arizona, someone who grew up here, and also as a history teacher, I just really believe in public education. I believe it's foundational for our democracy. I wanted my kids to be able to be in classrooms with kids from our own community, and no matter what those kids look like or what they believed or anything, I wanted them to be around kids who were different from them. And I've been able to have, my oldest is 12. My youngest just started kindergarten, and like the conversations that we get to have because they are surrounded by all different kinds of people. I just am really grateful to have that as a parent. Um, However, I mean, being a parent, no matter where your kiddo goes to school, is a really tough job. And so I have a lot of sympathy for parents who just want the best for their kids, right? Um, but I think for me at the end of the day, I'm just like, it's not just about me and my kids, it's about us as a community and building a strong community, right? We know that great public schools mean lower crime rates. We know that great public schools mean a better economy, higher home values. We know those things. And if we, want to live in a civilized society, we've got to do a little bit of taking care of each other, right? And so I really value that. My kids get to, they hop on the bus right outside of our home and they go to school with all of our neighbors. And that's something that I'm for me, I'm like, that's kind of a little bit of the American dream, right? That we get to sort of build up on the next generation.
Right. And I don't think that having a choice of where to send your kid for school is a bad thing. I
Hmm.
agree with you. Parents have the right to really advocate for their children and to
Hmm.
decide what's best in their best interest. Of no concerns with that.
Yeah.
But I think you just really touched upon something that people have forgotten.
Hmm.
And I think um, with the current person in office
Hmm.
leading the country,
Hmm.
as I choke when I say that, sorry, but I think that people have gotten away from community and
Mhm.
helping each other and caring about what happens to your neighbor. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's not there anymore.
Right.
And if people are taking money that they don't actually need, or
Hmm.
is not bettering their kid, is like bettering their house or
Yeah.
something,
Hmm.
then I have a problem with that.
Yeah.
So for me, with this, the voucher situation is a hot topic here in Arizona, and I'm hearing about that more and more. I'm so glad the news stations are picking up on the story a little bit more than they were in the past,
Hmm.
and where the funding is actually going, because again, it's our taxpayer money
Yep.
that are funding these vouchers. And if the wealthiest of us in Arizona are taking the advantage of it the most,
Hmm.
like, how is that fair?
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Especially to somebody or a single parent really struggling to
Hmm.
do the best they can for their kid.
Yeah.
So my question for you with Save Our Schools is, if someone's listening right now, what's one simple way they could actually get involved with Save Our Schools?
I mean, definitely sign up for our emails. You can go to sosarizona.org and sign up for our emails, and you'll be notified of, the latest news, but then all of the various ways to be involved. We really have a little bit of something for everybody. We host webinars, we host phone banks. We've actually been calling voters from around the state, but the folks who are helping to call are from everywhere. And that's really cool that there are folks outside of Arizona. They're like, we know that this is really important for Arizona.
And
And
how did you reach those people?
it's a lot of really online marketing, as well as just all of the coalition partners that we have garnered over the years. Folks know that when they volunteer with our organization, that they're not going to be wasting their time, and so we do a lot. I mean, like I said, we're knocking doors right now, and I know that it is hot outside, but we also appreciate folks who are willing to drive and keep those cars cool while our door knockers are out doing the thing too. So, sign up.
Don't turn away if someone comes to your door.
Right?
Do you
Yeah.
guys leave literature at the door?
Sometimes, and depending on what it is for, but usually information about checking your voter registration and just how to get to find out more information about public schools.
Do you have hope that Arizona schools will continue to thrive?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. There's no way I could be part of this work and not have that hope. And I hope that my kids, that they will see improvements in the education system by the time that they graduate. But then I just really hope for all of our communities that we really go back to this idea that public education is a public good, and that this is, if we really believe in the sort of principles and ideals of our country, then we will want to help every child get a quality education.
Yeah. So will the ESA voucher, situation continue to be your number one, Save Our Schools number one priority, or?
Yeah, absolutely. It's it was the reason for our origin, and we will continue to fight against privatization in Arizona and around the country, for as long as we have to.
So one last question for you. The grassroots issues that you guys do outside of ESA, is there anyone that's you're really super proud of that people need to be aware of about Save Our Schools?
Oh, that's hard. I work with some really, really incredible people, incredibly brilliant, hardworking, committed, passionate people. And I really think that maybe one of the things that I'm proudest most, and this is something that like I have more direct um, interaction with, but the community that we've built of volunteers. I mean, we have a network of over 20,000 volunteers around the state who just care about public schools. They care about kids, and they just want to see a bright future for Arizona. And so it's the thing that like keeps me going, just being around all these incredible people. And so building that community, being part of that community,
and knowing your kids are going to grow up in that community.
Yeah, it's definitely something I'm really proud of.
Okay, so we can volunteer, we can donate.
Yes.
And anything else? we can check out their newsletters.
Yes. Check out our newsletter. Donate. We are grassroots. And
your website.
You can volunteer at sosarizona.org.
Okay, these are our tax dollars funding vouchers that are not benefiting all students. So get out there, vote, volunteer. What else?
Donate.
That's it. So donate. And thank you so much, Racheal, for being here and for really talking about this very important issue that's going to continue to be on the ballot coming up in the midterm elections and probably the general election. Thank you for being here. I'm Nicole Brown. This is Around the District. Check us out. Substack, Instagram, YouTube. Follow us and subscribe. Thank you.